Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is the first ever recording of 2023. Yes, this is the very first recording of 2023, by the way. This is amazing. It was monumental. New year, fresh start, I guess. Well, today is actually a video. I could have done it a while ago, but I ended up deleting it by mistake. But heck, I'm glad I did because I can actually have more things to talk about. Today, we're going to discuss Tekken 8. We're gonna talk about the trailer, the the two trailers that came out. One basically one of the summer of last year, the other in the state of play last month, plus the gameplay and discussing basically every single aspect and what I think of it and all that stuff. We have discussions, the usual things comes with that. So, all right. Without further ado, let's begin. So here we are now. We're gonna start analyzing the whole thing, the whole campaign. So we saw right there in the start is the helmet of the G Corp. So guys said so Jin talking to his dad, of course, and this is I believe be the final boss fight, or where this is gonna be the last battle between Jin and Kazuya. So it's gonna be another fight. So as you can see now, the gameplay, which is this is definitely the first trailer, by the way, for you guys want to watch. And as you can see, the graphics of the game are, of course, very much different in comparison to Tekken 7. And of course, as you can see, the rubble, the sky, and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, Jin has a brand new outfit. Has an Oni mask and his tights, as you can see. And there you go. He's been Kazuya's doing electrics after doing the Demon God Fist, which basically is counter hit attack. And as you can see, the only there, and I like both the Kazuya and Jin's design. Both designs are very, very fantastic. I do like the design. And then Jin decided to do do his move, and he got a Wing Angel, which kind of looks funny in my opinion. But and right then there implies that in the story that Jin has full control of the Devil Gene, which is kind of awesome in my opinion. Now we're gonna move on to the second trailer that came out in the Game Awards. So Jin felt he lost the fight, and he felt like at the end. And we see this biggest alpha in the room. Joden's returning. I never see her. I expect her to see her back. And then we see as well not only just the whole thing. We see now characters like there's Paul, Law, Jack, and King. All the main characters. As you can see, they're doing a kind of running attack, which is pretty. I'll talk about this more. There's Lars, which is a lot of characters redesigns are amazing. They are really, really amazing and fantastic. I see like the running attack as well. So it's really fantastic to see. The graphics are beautiful, the environments are great, and this is of course this is kind of in Manhattan, I think. And it's really good. Really, it's just really, really well made and well put together when it comes to the whole story of this game, basically. Now before we jump into the gameplay aspect of the game, now I'm gonna definitely tell you guys like how the story is gonna be entailing. The story, of course, is gonna be entailing the final battle between Kazuya and Jin. It's gonna be the final conflict between both of them. That's gonna be the main storyline when it comes to the game. Jin is basically his mission is getting rid of the Mishima ending the Mishima bloodline, the Mishima curse. It's always been his mission since Tekken 4, and now he's gonna achieve this mission now because in Tekken 7, Jin did not do anything. All he did is he just was sleeping the entire time. But while Kazuya and Hachi been fighting, and Kazuya is since he defeated Heihachi, his next order of business is having full control of the devil, take Jin's devil gene and have full control of the world. That is basically world domination. The world basically right now is in ruins and it's in complete like disarray. So it's basically a war zone. And when it comes to the Mishima Zaibatsu, I think they are no longer exist as of like currently the trailers. I believe now G-Corps are now the top dogs right now. They're gonna own the King of the Iron Fist right now. So either Mishima Zaibatsu is disbanded and they no longer exist, or they are combined, or two, they're combined together, or 3, Kazuya now owns the Mishima Zaibatsu and G-Corp and they merge both of them together. So these are the 3 possibilities I think that it will happen to the G-Corp, to the Mishima Zaibatsu. Either they're gone or they're merged with G-Corp, which I believe they're just merged with G-Corp most likely. So, and we saw, of course, Jun is returning, which is really interesting and it's really good to see her back. We haven't seen Jun in a Tekken game since Tekken 2, story-wise. Like, canonically, we haven't seen her since that game, which is basically over 20 years ago. And we haven't seen her in a Tekken game in 10 years, since Tekken Tag Tournament 2. So it's pretty much a perfect timing to see her, you know. Now it's 11 years, so, but still like 10 years, haven't been like 11 because the Tekken Tag Tournament 2 released till by the end of the year, so 11 to 10 years. We haven't seen her like playable, so in over 20 years, in story wise. So it kind of makes sense that she's gonna be in the game after the the Netflix series release. It kind of makes sense that she's gonna be there in Tekken 8. So I do see it kind of coming. At the same time, I was pretty excited to see her back. But of course, because since the whole Netflix series is basically kind of like a retelling of Jin's story in Tekken 3, which is pretty good, by the way. I'm currently watching the show, honestly. It's a really good show. It definitely tells definitely a really good story. I think a more detailed story of Tekken 3. It's pretty cool. And the thing is about the story of Tekken is that the first story is pretty much amazing. But the Tekken 7 story, I want to really mention the story of Tekken 7. It's really shitty, and they really retcon so much things about Kazuya, and it's pretty misinformation. Like, Kazuya's true motive for recently killing Heihachi is him getting thrown off the cliff and almost killing him. It wasn't because of him. Because his mom had the devil gene, so Kazuya inherited some of the devil gene from Kazumi to Kazuya. So they kind of retcon that story and they try to make in Tekken 7 they try to make Kazuya like is the ultimate bad guy, when in reality he should be the hero, because he always been to me he's always been the hero compared to Heihachi. And they kind of show Heihachi's emotional side because story-wise this will be Heihachi's last game story-wise, so it kind of makes sense to kind of put Heihachi in a way, kind of put him on a pedestal. It was so weird to see this man who has his remorseless, ruthless, basically a strong ass old man, and probably in his I don't know, it's like 110 years old, and been kicking ass. And seeing his emotional side was something because I didn't expect to see Heihachi being emotional, because Kazuya was Heihachi's only love. So yeah, there's a lot of questions right now that I hope they answer in Tekken 8. The first question is, where is the devil gene originate? Who is the original source of the devil gene? By this point, the oldest person that has access to the devil gene is Azazel. He's basically the earliest known Even though he doesn't have the full devil gene, he is the minion of the devil. He's basically has the fragment of the devil gene. Hopefully we find out who is the original source of the devil gene, who is originate. That's number one story. That's number one thing. Number two, what happened? I know it's kind of number two is kind of a giveaway, or kind of like say like what happened, you know? What happened between the fight between Akuma and Kazuya? What happened between both of them? Because you know, still to this day we don't know what Akuma's true mission. Like his Akuma's like mission was to kill Heihachi and Kazuya in orders of Kazumi. But what happened, you know, between Kazumi and Akuma? What happened to them? The only thing we heard of Akuma saying that Kazumi saved his life, and that's it. But he doesn't disclose how. Does the close win? Like, it's probably like I believe Kazumi saved Akuma's life while I think Kazumi was a kid. I think before knowing Heihachi, or maybe around the time he knows Heihachi, and and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. We still want to know what happened. The third question: what does the Hachicho clan gonna do next? And if you don't know what the Hachicho clan are, there are a bunch of clans. There's basically a bunch of assassins that kill stronger family clans. So Kazumi's true mission in Tekken 7 was to spy on Heihachi and to basically kill him, because they have a prophecy to say that this guy will rule the world, that this man will create chaos and all that kind of stuff. So basically they're and they have I think some of the members have the devil gene, I'm not sure. There's gotta be I do believe there's gotta be a Hachicho member who's gonna continue what Kazumi, continue Kazumi's work and kill probably Kazuya. Since definitely Heihachi's dead, so they're gonna do that. They want to fulfill the other prophecy of killing Kazuya. So hopefully all these three questions that I have in my mind that hasn't been answered, be answered. If Akuma's gonna be in Tekken 8, because Akuma currently right now he is part of the Tekken family. He's part of the main canonical story. It's kind of weird, really. So hopefully these questions will be answered, because these questions are pretty important that I would like to answer. Mostly, where is the devil gene was originate? Where's the original source of devil gene? Who had the devil gene first? How it came from in the world and everything. So let's hope in Tekken 8 all these questions will be answered. So that's basically that from the story perspective. Now it's time for the gameplay portion of the game, of this video. Now for the gameplay portion of the video, which is something I need to really discuss. It's already talked about the story portion. Now we're going to talk about the gameplay portion. So this is definitely the thing that sparks the fan base and kind of divides the fan base, is the gameplay. We all know that Tekken games have they always like to change up their gameplay and everything, and this one's a little bit different. As you can see, the characters do a bit of a cancel dash attack. This thing is called actually the Heat System. Currently right now we don't know anything about it much and how it activates and how it does, but I definitely will have a high percent chance of a very high percent chance of that is actually a form of meter system. As you can see, Harada's well stated in an interview, which I'll link, I provided in the description. He said that he described that the arenas had sort of walls Like it's a lot more dynamic. So as you can see now, as we see is Paul performing his Death Fist and performing his as well his Rage Arts. So Rage Arts are going to come back as well as part of the gameplay. Now the gameplay aspect, like I said, has been the biggest talk of the gaming community, most defining community. Is it's been very divisive when it comes to this rage system with this heat system. It's basically kind of like a more of a basically a cancel meter mode. We don't know, like I said, we know nothing about it. We don't know like the extensive of it. This is all we know about. It's called heat. That's pretty much it. So in future trailers, hopefully we see more gameplay and knowing what the system's gonna be about. And when it comes to Tekken games, they always have like new things they put in. Like Tekken 7, they have the Rage Drive and Rage Art and the Rage system, like, you know, expanded. They are gonna keep with those two, you know, Rage Art and Rage Drive, are pretty cool. It actually adds like more dynamic to the game, which is pretty good. The areas are now a lot more destructible right now, as you saw between the King and Jack fight. So a lot of destructible areas. And I will provide a link now down in the description to the whole conference that they did like a couple of days after the Game Awards, where they discussed a lot of things. And as well, I will provide a link to the interview that IGN did to Harada, which is a really they interviewed him, and they say that the game is gonna be aggressive oriented. It's gonna be highly aggressive gameplay. And so the game was, you know, Tekken games are always well known for defense and offense, but with Tekken 8, it's gonna be leaning towards the aggressive players. So this is kind of a change that kind of like even pro players were like saying, you know, they didn't like that much of the change. I think the change should be, I think it's an alright change, because every Tekken game they always add new things. The corkscrew bound is back by basically, and I was pretty afraid because I don't want to see meter characters, you know, returning in Tekken 8, because I want no meter characters. I want just straight up 3D fighting. A lot of people said the game's gonna be, there's no side steps or anything. I don't think, you know, they will go that far, really. You know, I don't think they're gonna go that far to saying, yeah, we're just gonna change the gameplay and all that shit and be like, oh, just like other fighting games. Tekken's always 3D. It has been and always will be 3D, no matter what the hell they're doing. The stage is actually kind of, I think the stages in the game will be based on real life places. One of them, the one with Jin and Kazuya, is like Manhattan, mostly. So it's Manhattan, and one's kind of like a ruins, and the other one's a Coliseum, which is one with Law and Paul. So there's a lot of new arenas and new areas. So that's pretty cool. They're gonna go to that route. Here's the thing. When it comes to Tekken 8, there are some things that I wanted to, like game modes, to come back. I want Tekken 8, even if Tekken 7 sold 10 million copies, the amount of content involves offline mode is very lackluster. So here's the things I would like to see return. One, a return of story battle mode. Story battle mode was something I loved about Tekken. And it's a mode that, if you don't know what it is, if you played Tekken 5, Tekken 4, the mode what it does is you pick a character, you learn the character's backstory, you play some fights, and in the 4th or 7th, like when you fight your rival, in Tekken 5 you have a little cutscene between you and your rival, and then you beat him, and then you get more cutscene, and then you get to the final boss and all that kind of stuff. You know, and then you get like an FMV cutscene ending. I will bring that mode back. That mode, that catch episodes in Tekken 7 was a goddamn joke to me. It was such a joke. and it's a really just you know, in a way of like, yeah, we have like a kind of like, let's just like have the rival fights be just one singular fight. Because when I played Tekken 7, the catch episodes, I thought it would be like, oh, it's like arcade mode. You go through the game, maybe fight a rival, get a cutscene, like Tekken 5, but they didn't, so, and it's kind of lame. So I hope they bring that back, you know? Not for the main characters, no problem, but for the side characters. Like characters like Paul, Law, Lars, Kane, Jack, like all those. Like, and of course more characters to come. We need that. We need that mode back because that mode is really 100% needed. Returning classic modes like Tekken, like Team Battle, Survival mode. Bring these two modes. These modes are weirdly absent in Tekken 7. They were weirdly gone. Like, I don't know why they haven't put those two modes in the game, which is these two become staples since Tekken 2. It's for the first time they never put that mode in. Another mode they should definitely do and consider is a training mode or like a tutorial mode. It's time that, you know, Namco or like the dev team of Tekken to get that mode in. Street Fighter and Tekken, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat have a mode like this, and Tekken is really tough when it comes to movement. It's pretty tough, and it's not that easy of a game, you know. Heck, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was hard to get. I think to me is one of the hardest learning Tekken games out there. You have a big roster with a lot of movement and a lot of moveset. It's so much. So I really do believe they should get a tutorial mode, tell us how to sidestep, how to duck, how to hit punches, how to counter, punish, talk about frames. If you want to go to defense, talk about frames, how to break a throw, how to do one break, two break, like all these things that, you know, normal like casuals need to learn. Even though I know I'm definitely been a seasoned veteran of the series, I'm kind of a seasoned veteran, but it's something that really beginners need to learn. And please get rid of the, you know, the one button, like the whole like sample combo, and you press like, when you press the R1 button, you press one button, it does like an attack, you know, like the one like the story mode. I don't know why they put that in the actual fighting, because people like, instead of like they do like wave dashing and then do it to electric, they just press L1 and square to do that. But I do believe they're gonna go the same route Street Fighter 6 with like, oh, you can have like a, you know, sample combo people can do, you know, if you want to learn. But learning the engine and learning the mechanics is part of the fun. You're just there, I know fighting is just a pick up and play type of game, but having a learning curve will be a lot better, and if you learn how to play the game properly, you'll have most fun. And as well, doing your own combos. Doing your own combos in Tekken is part of the fun. Be creative. Creativity is definitely something that we all do in Tekken. We all do in Tekken is creativity. Have creative combos, creative moveset, see which move does what the frames and all that. It's just like, it's part of the fun. It's one of the reasons why Tekken's successful. It's like creating your own combos, creating your own move, doing your own style, instead of just like, yeah, just mash one button and that's it. You basically win, which is definitely boring, and that's not how the way you play fighting games, to be honest. So I don't know. What do you guys think of it? Basically, do you think you should put that mode in, or people should be creative and actually do actual work and make the game actually, like, you know, learning? It will be worth it, because it'll be worth it. You'll learn a lot of things to do with like wave dashing, Korean back dashing, side stepping, like all the stuff that is essential. You know, even if you're like, oh, I want to play the online, you know, rank battles and stuff, you need to learn how to play the game if you want to get to the rank battles, because, you know, because higher ranks, they don't like use sample combos, they use their own combos and they practice a lot. And speaking of the online mode, there's one thing they need to fix is the goddamn server. The online servers in Tekken 7 are shit. Let's be real here. Are shit since the beginning. Even when they say improve online mode, improve this, nothing. They didn't improve nothing. I put it on the PS4 and it's just the same old, same old. It's not even improved. Look at Soul Calibur 6. Soul Calibur 6's servers are fantastic. Put that server into Tekken 8. It's gonna be really worth it. That's something that should definitely need to be improved. I don't know. I know what other like Tekken Force mode would be way too much. Maybe some people want Tekken Force mode, but I think it'll be way too much for the game. Unless if you want to put it, then that'd be cool. But if you want to do Tekken Force mode, do it just like Tekken 4. Don't do like Tekken 6. Do a Tekken 4 version. It will probably be a lot more fun. So those are things we need to point out in terms of gameplay and content. I really want these to be like become the staple thing for the game. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what other like modes you think they should put in the game. So, because I don't want them overdo too many. And speaking of overdoing, hopefully they're not gonna make the roster extremely big. Having at least a roster of at least 50 characters, or at least like 40, like I don't know, 48 characters at least, or 40 characters, that's gonna be good. But having like 60, 70 characters, that's way too much. It's overblowing the roster. Just try to make the roster at least sizable. Make it sizable. Make it at least like, you know, make it good, you know. And stop with the whole pay to win bullshit with the characters, because most of the characters basically pay to win, like Falcon Ron and Leroy. When these two characters first drop, they will just pay to fucking win. Just make it like, instead of like using heavy microtransactions, how about you do like Tekken Tag Tournament 2? Like when you update Tekken Tag Tournament 2, you basically have like the characters and stuff. I wish they put that in there as well. Even I know because Tekken Tag Tournament 2 sales weren't great, so people don't buy DLC, I get it. But Jesus, can you at least like do that? Instead of just like paying... To the point I have like to pay like the season pass are becoming like more expensive than the game itself. Like come on now, it's getting ridiculous. So yeah, that's one of the things I want to like, hopefully they can improve in Tekken 8 because of that. Now we're gonna move into the characters, what they look, what the characters look like. I'll definitely show the characters, you know, the renders right now. And that concludes the game, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Concludes the video. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. This is kind of like a video I want to make for one of my favorite fighting game franchises, with like a lot of detail and everything. And guys, tell me what you think about the trailer. What do you think about the game? Do you are excited? Not excited? And by the way, like a little bit of thing before I, you know, end the video. Yeah, the game's gonna be only on new gen only, by the way, so it kind of sucks. But from the looks of it, it should be only new gen, like, you know, only like next gen only. I don't think PS4, Xbox Series will fucking work with that thing. Hell no, I don't think so. With guys like that, no, I don't think so. I wish it was work, but or it can make it work, but it's okay. So yeah, that concludes the video. What do you think? What's your opinion? What most you want to be in the game? What characters? Let me know, guys, what characters you want to be in the game. I really want to know what the other characters you guys want to be in the game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.